Welcome, everyone. If you've ever felt that English is hard, if you've ever tried to speak but the words just didn't come out, if you understand English but can't express your thoughts, if you feel stuck, lost, or frustrated with slow progress, then stop everything and listen very carefully. Because this is not just another tutorial. It's not a grammar lesson. This may be the most important message you ever hear about learning English. If you truly listen until the end, it might change your life. You are about to learn how to train your brain for English. Not just learn English, but reprogram your brain to think, react, speak, and feel in English naturally. Here's the truth no one told you. Fluency is not about how many words you know. It's about how your brain reacts in real time. It's not about memory, it's about mindset. It's not about perfection. It's about training your brain to become the kind of person who speaks English every day, without fear, without hesitation, and without translation. This message will show you how, step by step, in the clearest and most powerful way possible. If you've ever dreamed of speaking English fluently, confidently, and freely, this is the beginning of that dream. Don't skip. Don't pause. Listen to the end. And if you find this even 1% helpful, remember to stay with us. Because here, we don't just teach English, we transform lives. Step 1. Reset your mind. English is not a subject. Let me ask you something. Why do you think you're not fluent yet? Why do you feel nervous when speaking? Why do you forget words even after memorizing them? Why do you translate everything in your head? It's not because you're weak. It's not because you're lazy. It's not because you're not smart. The real reason is deeper. Your brain still believes English is a school subject. Since childhood, English was taught with rules, tests, marks, pressure, fear, memorization, and silence. Your brain learned to treat English the way it treats mathematics or history, something to study, not something to live. And that belief has become your biggest enemy. When the brain thinks something is a subject, it becomes scared and serious. It focuses on correctness instead of communication. It waits for a teacher instead of training itself. It tries to memorize instead of experience. That is the prison you are stuck in. And unless you break this belief, no amount of practice will make you fluent. Fluency doesn't live in books. Fluency lives in your brain, your mouth, your daily life. Look at a child who grows up in an English-speaking country. They never study grammar. They never memorize vocabulary lists. They never take spoken English classes. Yet by age 5, they speak fluently and naturally. How? Because their brain never thought English was a subject. They thought English was life. They used it to express hunger, joy, pain, excitement. It became part of their identity. That's the key. English is not something you learn. It's something you become. And to become it, you must reset your brain. How to reset your mind? Stop saying, I'm learning English. Start saying, I'm becoming an English speaker. Your words shape your identity. When you say, I'm learning, your brain stays in student mode. When you say, I'm becoming, your brain shifts into transformation mode. You are not a student anymore. You are a speaker in training. Throw away the fear of mistakes. Fluent people make mistakes all the time, and they keep talking. Your brain must feel safe. If your mind keeps asking, what if I'm wrong? It will shut down. Tell your brain, I'm not here to be perfect. I'm here to be powerful. Mistakes don't block fluency. Silence does. Speak with courage. Speak with emotion. Speak with intention. Let grammar correct itself naturally over time. Right now, your goal is freedom. Disconnect English from exams. Don't say, I got high marks. Say, I told my story in English today. Say, I had a conversation in English today. Marks don't matter. Communication does. Stop preparing for tests. Start preparing for real life. Your goal is not a certificate. Your goal is to order food in English, write messages in English, express feelings in English, talk to strangers in English, tell your story in English. That is real fluency. Make English part of your identity. Don't say, I'm trying to learn English. Say, English is part of me. You don't learn your mother tongue every day. You live it. That is what English must become. Feel this truth. I'm the kind of person who speaks English, thinks in English, grows in English. This is not just learning. This is becoming. Start speaking even if you're not ready. If you wait until you're perfect, you will wait forever. The brain grows when you act, not when you wait. From this moment on, English is not a subject I study. It is a language I live. It is part of who I am. And I won't stop until my brain accepts this. Step 2. Input first. Feed your brain like a baby. Here's a simple truth. Every fluent English speaker on earth learned through input first. Not grammar. Not writing. Not vocabulary lists. Every human learns language by listening long before speaking. This is not motivation. This is biology. Look at a baby. They don't study. They don't memorize. They don't fear mistakes. They don't wait for perfection. They simply live inside the language. They absorb sounds, emotions, rhythm. They understand before they speak. Fluency is built by immersion, not by memorization. Your brain needs thousands of hours of input before it can speak freely. But most English learners do the opposite. They try to speak without listening. Try to form sentences without hearing sentences. Try to think in English without feeding the brain English. It's like trying to build a house without bricks. That's why this step exists, to give your brain the material it needs for fluency. But input does not mean casually watching videos or playing music in the background. Real input means this. Your brain must hear English in a focused, intentional, emotional way. Not passive. Not careless. Not half-hearted. Your mind must process the sounds. Your ears must absorb the patterns. Your brain must catch the rhythm. Your heart must feel the tone. Your imagination must visualize the meaning. Input is not noise. Input is nourishment. Just like your body cannot grow without food, your English cannot grow without meaningful sound. Most learners never become fluent because they refuse this step. They try to skip the natural process. They say things like, I want to speak first. I want fast results. I don't have time to listen. I don't understand everything. But the truth is this. You don't need to understand everything to grow. You need exposure, not perfection. Think of a baby again. At first, the child understands nothing. Slowly, the brain begins to recognize patterns. It notices structure. It understands emotion, catches rhythm. That is how fluency is built. Your brain needs the same experience. When you listen to English every day, your brain forms new neural pathways. Your ears become sensitive to English sounds. Your tongue learns from the rhythm. Your mouth shapes better pronunciation. Your memory begins to recognize patterns. Your thinking becomes faster. Your confidence rises. Listening literally rewires your brain. When people say, I understand English but I can't speak, it means their brain has not received enough input to produce output. Speaking is the final result. Listening is the foundation. You cannot skip the foundation and expect a perfect building. Choose the easiest English possible. Your brain learns faster with simple sentences. Short, clear, slow English creates strong foundations. If you begin with fast English, your brain feels fear and confusion. Start simple, grow strong, then move upward. Practice listening with your eyes closed for a few minutes. Why? Because when your eyes are closed, your brain enters deep listening mode. You imagine the meaning. You focus more. Your brain processes sound better. Your imagination becomes active. Your mental pictures grow stronger. Repeat the same audio again. Repetition is not boring. Repetition is power. Repetition creates mastery. When you listen a second time, meaning becomes clearer. Sentences feel familiar. Confidence grows. Your brain begins to own the language. Each repetition makes you faster. Whisper the words after listening. Not loudly, just softly. Whispering activates your muscles without fear. Your brain feels safe. Your tongue learns the shape. Your mouth practices the rhythm. This connects input to output. Make it emotional. If you want your brain to remember, you must give it feeling. Listen to things you enjoy, things that inspire you, things that touch you. Emotion is the glue that attaches English to your long-term memory. If English feels emotional, your brain will hold onto it forever. This is not something you do for a week. This is not something you do only when you have free time. This is not something you do when you feel like it. Input is your lifeline. Input is your foundation. Input is your lifeblood. If you want a fluent brain, you must feed it English every single day, just like your first language fed you every day. This is not optional. This is essential. This is nature's design. You cannot fight nature. You must follow it. And here's what happens when you follow this step consistently. You begin to feel more comfortable with English sound. Your thinking starts shifting into simple English. Sentences begin forming naturally. Your mouth moves more freely. Your confidence becomes real. Your progress surprises even you. Not because you memorized, not because you studied, but because you fed your brain the way nature intended. Fluency is not magic. It is biology. And this step activates that biology. If you skip input, you skip fluency. If you choose input, you choose transformation. Your brain is ready. It wants to grow. It wants to absorb. It wants to evolve. It wants to become fluent. Feed it. Fill it. Strengthen it. Train it. Every minute you spend listening today makes you a better speaker tomorrow. Input is not learning. Input is evolution. Step 3. Emotion-based vocabulary. Remember words forever. Let's begin with something brutally honest. Most English learners know thousands of words, yet they can use only a small percentage of them in real life. Why? Because they memorized words without internalizing them. They learned with the mind, but not with the body, emotion, or experience. So the words float in the brain like dry leaves, present but not connected to anything real. Eventually they disappear. And the result? You forget. You hesitate. You panic. You translate. You feel like you're failing. But the problem is not you. The problem is the method. Memorizing vocabulary is the weakest way to learn a language. Now it's time to replace it with the most powerful method your brain understands. Emotion-based vocabulary learning. Let's try something simple. Think of the word apple. Do you see letters in your mind? Do you see a dictionary definition? No. You see the fruit. You remember the taste, the color, the smell, the crunch. You may remember giving one to a friend. You may remember eating one on your way home. You may feel a moment from childhood. That is real memory. Real memory is not based on data. It is based on emotion, imagery, and context. That's why we forget what we crammed for an exam. But we remember emotional moments from long ago. Your brain doesn't care about information. Cares about feeling. When you connect a vocabulary word to emotion, your brain says, "This is important. I will never forget this." Now let me show you how most learners go wrong. They open a book. They see the word hungry. They read, "Hungry equals feeling of needing food." They repeat it several times. They write it in a list. They review it once in a while. Then one day they feel hungry, and they forget the word. Why? Because they never connected the word to real life. They never created emotion. They never used it when it mattered. The brain does not remember repetition. The brain remembers meaning. Now let me show you the strongest method to train vocabulary. Learn only a few meaningful words per day. Not 50. Not 100. Choose a small number of powerful words. Give them depth. Make them part of your day. That is mastery. Visualize each word like a movie scene. For example, nervous. Don't just define it. Close your eyes. Remember a moment when you truly felt nervous. Before an interview, before an exam, before speaking in public. Feel your hands shaking. Feel your heartbeat. See the moment. Now say, "I was nervous that day." Say it again with emotion. Say it like you are reliving it. Now your brain has a picture, a story, a feeling. You will never forget the word. Always learn words inside real sentences you care about. Don't learn isolated definitions. Learn living language. Not just delicious equals tasty, but This pizza is so delicious I could eat it all. Every day say the word out loud. Smile as you say it. Imagine your favorite pizza. Now the word delicious is connected to your senses. That's real memory. Use the word in mirror talk. Go to your mirror, look into your eyes, and describe something real. I feel nervous about tomorrow's test. This tea is too bitter. My mother is generous. She always helps others. I'm exhausted today. When your mouth says the word and your reflection watches you say it, your brain marks the moment as important. It's like emotional flashcards, but real. Record your voice using the word in a short story. Pick one word and build a 1-minute story around it. It doesn't need to be perfect. It needs to be personal. Example word, jealous. One day I saw my friend get a promotion and I felt a little jealous. Not because I hate them, but because I also wanted to grow. And that jealousy taught me something. I needed to improve myself. When you speak a word in your own story, you don't just remember it, you own it. Use spaced emotional repetition. Instead of repeating a word every day like a robot, review it emotionally every few days. Learn it deeply, feel it again, speak it again, use it with someone. This is spaced repetition combined with emotion, the most powerful formula in learning science. Old method. You forget half your words within a week. You panic while speaking. You recognize words but cannot use them. New emotional method. You remember words for months and years. You feel confident using them, and your vocabulary becomes part of your identity. Your brain builds strong memory links. You feel connected to English like never before. You're not just collecting words. You're building your voice, your stories, your future. Words are not information. They're tools. They're freedom. Learn them with feeling. Learn them with meaning. Learn them with your life. That's how you become fluent. If you truly want to remember English words forever, stop memorizing them. Start feeling them. When your brain feels, your memory locks in. Your confidence rises. Your sentences flow. Now let's talk about training your mouth. Every English learner knows this moment. You understand the word, you've heard it many times, but when it's your turn to speak, your tongue freezes. Your lips stay still. Your mind goes blank. This doesn't happen because you're not smart. It happens because your mouth is not trained. You've trained your brain to recognize English, but not your mouth to produce it. Fluency is physical. Your mouth has been shaped by your native language since you were a baby. English uses different rhythms, positions, and movements. So when you speak English, your mouth feels awkward and unsure. That creates hesitation. Think of it like dancing. Knowing the steps in your head doesn't mean your body can perform them. To speak fluently, you must train your mouth intentionally. Like an athlete trains their body. Mouth training activates your muscles, builds pronunciation memory, increases speaking speed, and makes English feel natural. Here is your daily English mouth workout. Shadow speaking, the echo method. Play 5 seconds of audio, pause. Repeat exactly what you heard. Match the tone, rhythm, and speed. This teaches real English movement and natural fluency patterns. Tongue twister training. Say challenging phrases slowly 3 times each. Red lorry, yellow lorry. She sells seashells by the seashore. Truly rural. These build tongue flexibility and reduce hesitation. Mirror talk with emotion. Speak about your day for a few minutes in the mirror. Use gestures. Pretend you're talking to a friend. This builds confidence and emotional connection to English. Record and compare yourself. Choose a short video clip and record yourself saying the same words. Compare your version with the original. Notice differences in speed, pronunciation, and tone. Improve each time. Stretch your sentences. Take a simple sentence like, I want to go now, and say it in many variations. I really want to go now. I don't want to go later. I want to go now. Okay. I said I want to go now. This teaches flow, flexibility, and expressive control. You don't need hours. You need consistency. 10 focused minutes a day is enough. Make it loud, energetic, and intentional. Fluency is not quiet. It is full body action. Each day you train, your tongue moves more easily, your sentences flow more smoothly, and your confidence grows. This is fluency muscle memory. On its own, your mouth will begin to move faster. Your lips will shape the words before you even think. Your confidence will rise. Your fear will disappear. Because now you're not just learning English, you're training to become a speaker. When you train your mouth every day, you begin to feel faster sentences, a stronger voice, a natural rhythm, better pronunciation, deeper confidence, and a fluency that feels like it is part of your body. You will stop saying, "I know what to say, but I can't say it." Instead, you'll start saying, "Don't even think about it. It just comes out." That is fluency. That is flow. That is the result of muscle training. If your mouth is silent, your fluency fades. You cannot become a speaker by listening alone. You must speak. You must stretch. You must push yourself. Fluency is not just in your mind. It is in your mouth. And the only way to unlock it is by using it again and again. Train your mouth. Move your lips. Raise your voice. Repeat your words. Feel the rhythm. Own the sound. Soon English will not just live in your brain. It will live in your voice. Most learners translate every sentence from their native language into English before speaking. They think, "How do I say this? Is this the correct grammar? What was that word again? Let me remember the rule." And by the time they find an answer, the moment is gone. The conversation has moved forward, their confidence has dropped, and their fluency becomes silent. This is because they are still using memory, but memory is slow. Fluency is fast. If you remain stuck in translation mode, you cannot become fluent because your brain is operating in the wrong language. You need to stop thinking in your native language and start thinking directly in English. This is not about perfection, it is about naturalness. Thinking in English doesn't mean creating essays in your mind. It doesn't mean searching for advanced vocabulary or long, complex sentences. It means something simpler and deeper. It means your first reaction is in English. Your feelings appear as English words. Your thoughts are ready to speak before you try. You begin living inside English instead of translating into it. When your brain reacts in English, fluency starts to grow automatically. Imagine waking up in the morning, stretching your arms, and instead of thinking in your native language, your mind says, "I want to sleep a little more." That is fluency. That is freedom. That is thinking in English. When you think in your native language and then try to speak English, your brain works twice as hard. First it builds the sentence in your language, then it searches for the English version, then it checks grammar, then it organizes the words, and finally it sends the sentence to your mouth. By that time, your confidence has faded, your sentence is broken, your fear has returned, and your fluency is gone. But when you think directly in English, there is no translation, no delay, no inner conflict. The thought becomes a sentence, the sentence becomes speech, and the speech becomes fluency. Many learners say, "I can't think in English because I don't know enough words." This is completely false. You don't need big words to think in English, you need small, emotional, everyday words. Words like, "I'm tired," "It's raining," "I'm hungry," "I feel nervous," "I want to rest," "I love this movie," "This is beautiful," "I'm late," "Let's go," "I forgot," "I made a mistake." These are not exam sentences, they're real thoughts. This is how your English brain is built. Fluency is not born in a notebook. Fluency is born in your internal dialogue. Here is your daily fluency training. Narrate your life in simple English. Every action you take, say it in English in your mind. I'm brushing my teeth. I'm making tea. I'm looking at my phone. I feel sleepy. I need to charge my laptop. Where are my shoes? Let me sit down. Say these silently or whisper them as you do them. This turns your daily life into a fluency gym. Talk to yourself in English. What should I do today? Let me check the weather. I'll go to the store first. I need to call my friend. I'm not in the mood. Let's take a break. You're not strange, you're training your English brain. Use object naming practice. Look around your room and say, "This is a chair. That's my phone. These are my shoes. The fan is spinning. The light is on. The window is closed." This connects the physical world to English thoughts and rewires your environment into fluency signals. Build English thought chains. Don't stop at one sentence. Keep adding more. I'm feeling tired. I slept late last night. I was watching a movie. It ended late, but it was amazing. Now I want coffee. Your thoughts start flowing in English. Once your thoughts flow, your speaking follows automatically. Create an English-only mental zone each day. Set a short period in which you think only in English while doing anything, walking, cooking, resting. It becomes a gym session for your brain. After consistent practice, you'll begin using simple English automatically. Your brain will stop panicking. You'll stop translating and begin reacting quickly. Soon you'll speak without planning, and English will become a natural part of your inner world. This is when the biggest transformation happens. You're no longer a student of English. You're a thinker in English. You're a speaker in the making. You're becoming fluency itself. If you don't think in English, you will always be translating, always slow, always nervous, always feeling like English is foreign. But when you narrate your life, react in English, and train your thoughts daily, a moment will come when you are walking outside, you notice something beautiful, and effortlessly your mind says, "That's beautiful. I love this weather. I feel lucky today." And then you realize something amazing. You didn't translate. You didn't think in your language. You simply felt the moment in English, naturally, freely, fluently. Have you ever looked in the mirror and spoken to yourself in English? Not just a few words, but full sentences with real emotion, full eye contact, as if speaking to someone you care about or someone you want to inspire. This is mirror talk, one of the most powerful fluency tools in the world. In the mirror, something magical happens. You are both the speaker and the listener, the student and the teacher, the audience and the performer. Most importantly, you are free to speak without fear of judgment. Mirror talk is not just practice, it is rebuilding trust in your own voice. And once that happens, everything changes. No one in the world can stop your fluency. When you speak in front of the mirror, you see your own expression. You hear your own voice. You feel your own body language. You build your fluency muscles. You create your own conversation environment. You stop caring about grammar and start focusing on flow. You teach your brain that it's okay to speak. It's safe. You're not being judged, you're practicing for real life. Over time, your mirror becomes your training partner. It becomes your audience, your teacher, your reflection of growth. Many learners try to become fluent by memorizing, writing notes, watching videos, listening quietly, reading silently, thinking but never speaking. But fluency lives in your voice. If your mouth doesn't move, your fluency never wakes up. Mirror talk forces your mouth to move. It forces your eyes to focus. It forces your thoughts into spoken words. It creates the missing connection. Confidence plus expression equals true fluency. Here's how to make mirror talk the most powerful part of your day. Stand tall and face yourself. Don't sit, don't slouch. Stand with strength and presence. Look into your own eyes as if you're about to give the most important speech of your life, because you are. Start with simple truth sentences. You don't need big words. You need honest words. Say, "I want to speak English fluently. I'm training every day to become better. I know I'm improving. I'm not afraid of mistakes. I believe in myself." Say these slowly, clearly, and with emotion. Let your voice carry your truth. Talk about your day in English. Tell your reflection what happened. "I woke up today and felt lazy at first. Then I made some coffee. I watched a short video in English. Now I'm here practicing again. I'm proud of myself for not giving up." Keep going. The mirror won't interrupt. It won't laugh. It won't judge. It will listen and help you grow. Describe your emotions in English. This is where fluency becomes powerful. Say, "I'm feeling tired, but I still want to improve. I'm nervous about my interview tomorrow. I'm excited about my progress. Sometimes I feel stuck, but I won't give up. I'm getting stronger every day." Emotion builds memory. Emotion builds fluency. Emotion builds you. Use hand gestures and facial expressions. Fluency is not only in your voice. It's in your face, your hands, your energy. Speak with passion. Smile when you express happiness. Frown when you express frustration. Move your hands with your words. This teaches your brain that English is not just vocabulary. It's a full body language. Practice real conversations. Imagine someone standing in front of you, your best friend, a stranger, a future client. Then practice both sides of the conversation. You, hey, how are you doing? Them, I'm good. You, I'm doing great. I've been working on my English lately. Them, really? That's awesome. You, yeah, it's been a challenge, but I'm getting better every day. This trains your brain to handle real situations before you ever face them. Record your mirror talk once a week. Choose one day. Record yourself speaking in the mirror for a couple of minutes. Listen to it later. You'll notice you're more confident than before. Your mistakes are fewer. Your speech is smoother. Your words come faster. Your tone is more natural. And you'll feel something powerful, pride, because you'll hear the sound of your own growth. After consistent mirror talk, your voice becomes stronger. Your hesitation disappears. You start believing in your ability. You develop real fluency under pressure. You build the muscle of expression. You prepare yourself for real conversations. Most importantly, you stop fearing English. You stop doubting yourself. You stop waiting. You stop hiding. Because you've spoken to the one person who matters most, you. And that is where true confidence is born. The mirror doesn't judge you. It reflects you. It watches you grow. It holds your journey silently. Every word you speak in that mirror, every mistake you make, every truth you declare, they all build something far greater than fluency. They build belief. When you talk to yourself in English every day, you stop waiting for the world to validate you. You become your own teacher, your own partner, your own hero. And when the world eventually hears your voice, you will be ready, because you've already spoken to yourself with full truth, full heart, and full English. You are no longer a silent dreamer. You are a speaker, a doer, a believer. This is the new you. If this message is helping you, if you feel something awakening inside you, if you are finally beginning to believe that you can speak English, then don't stop here. Keep going. Keep training. This is your training ground. This is where fluency begins. This is where your voice comes alive.